Hey everybody, welcome to another draw along video. Today I thought it would be fun to draw this little robot here sharing a rose. I liked that its head was kind of well, it's all pretty simple shapes. The head and the body and the feet are all different shaped cubes. The legs and the arms are basically cylinders. And I even liked how the undersketch was with a red pencil, which is how I like to start my sketches. And then we'll go over it with a blue pen as usual. So let's get right to it. I think I'm going to start with the head because it is the largest shape in the image. So let's go with this side here. Get the other side. And from the left side here, both of the lines extending out move, well, the top moves up and then the bottom moves down. I think I made this line a little long. We'll connect those. And then this line will go up there. And this line will go down there. I think it's considered a 2-point perspective. These lines are converging off in the distance over here. That's 1 point. These two lines are converging off in the distance over here. That's 2 points. So 2-point perspective. Bam. I think we can get its eyes in here pretty easy. They look like they're just ellipses. The eye on this side is a little bit smaller because this side of the robot's head is further away in the image, so it's a little bit smaller. And it looks like it has a little, I don't know if it's supposed to be a robot ear on the side there, a little ellipse for that. And then you can't see the bottom of this box, but from the bottom of this box, the robot's neck is extending out and attaching to its body. I think what I'm gonna do is leave that out for right now, and I'm going to try and draw the robot's body, and then we'll connect it. So it looks like the furthest point away of the robot's body is maybe about right here. So I'm just gonna put a little mark there. Draw a little line out. And you can't see this line so much because of the bow tie, but it looks like it's going down this angle. And then we'll match these lines coming back. They're not exactly parallel, but heading in the same direction there. A little further, I think. And then bring that down. I maybe drew this plane of the box a little bit further away from the head than it is in the drawing, but that's all right. Just finish off this box here. Okay, I even think I drew this box a little more to the right than it is in the image, but that's fine. And then I'm just gonna draw a couple lines coming down here for the robot's neck. And you can't see it, but this will be a little curved line here. And then we'll have the bow tie. Let's see if we can get this bow tie in here. Never drawn a bow tie before, so this will be a first. Looks like the center is just a little circle. And each side of the bow tie meets in the middle there. Beautiful. And it's even a red bow tie. Maybe I'll color this in with the red pencil when we're done. So this arm of the robot is behind its body, and it looks like the top outermost line, let's see, I'll draw a little curved line here where the arm attaches to the side of the robot's body. And then I think I'll do this little inner bit of its arm, because it's a small line. And then the outer line goes behind the robot's body almost at the bottom. And it just curves around. Try to keep a similar thickness of the robot's arm. It looks pretty good. And then you're gonna have a couple of wrapping lines around the robot's arm that show you that this is a cylinder, just communicating more that that's a cylinder. So a couple curved lines to indicate its shape and its direction. Let's see if we can get this arm here. It's coming out almost where the bow tie is there. Actually, maybe the bow tie on this side in the image is extending over the robot's body just a little bit. This isn't about making it perfect, a perfect copy of what we're seeing, but trying to do our best to make it look like a robot who's handing a rose to somebody. Maybe in another video we'll see who they're handing the rose to. All right, this might be a little complicated. The hand, if you look at the hand as a whole, really the outermost line of the hand, it's kind of a circle. So I think what I'm gonna do is just draw a circle to start. Maybe it's more of an ellipse. It's not perfectly round, and it is larger. Okay, that's good. Like that. And then this is kind of where the clamps come together here. And then there's another circle. And then, oh man, where am I going with this? I'm gonna draw this down a little bit further, draw this line a little bit lower, and then draw another line up a little bit higher, and that will give the robot's hand some thickness, some depth there, and then we have to apply the same depth to this hole that we created here. That's why you can see this little line in there. So you got a robot hand there now. All right, let's get the rose in here. We'll get the curved stem coming down, popping out the bottom there. I've never drawn a rose before, so what I'm seeing, the base of the rose looks like just a curved line. And then it's not exactly a circle, but I'm gonna draw this light. It's overlapping there, and it's overlapping here, and kind of coming around and doing like that. There's a little bulbous shape coming out on this side here. And then it looks like there's a swirly line on the inside. So we're gonna start right in the middle, a little over to the side from the middle, and draw a swirly line coming out there. All right, I guess that looks like a rose. And then there's a little leaf on the rose. We'll draw a little leaf here. The line in the middle. All right, I guess that's a rose, it's fine. And we got the robot's legs. Now I'm gonna draw light lines for the legs at first so I can figure out how long I want them and where where they're connecting to the body, where they're coming out from the body. So it looks like the center of the leg is right about at the corner of the robot's body there, and it's a curved line. All right, so we'll do that. And then at the bottom here where it connects to the feet, there's a little curved line where it connects to the feet. All right, this might be a little awkward. All right, I'm gonna draw a line. So this is the center. I'm gonna draw a line just a little to the left of the center and a little bit to the right of the center. And then we have the thickness of the leg there. And then this leg, similar to this arm, and I forgot to do it on this arm, we have these contour lines. I don't know if I called them that before, but that's what they are. They're contour lines that show that this is a cylinder shape and give you an idea of the angle you're looking at the cylinder from. We'll do the same thing with the legs here. Get these little curved lines. They're all going in the same direction on the leg here. Then we gotta build a box around this. I see the back of the foot coming out this way. And then the back edge. And then coming forward this direction for a bit. Going up here is the front of the foot. And then you can't see the back corner, but I imagine the back corner to be right about here. So I'm gonna draw a line about from where I think that would be out to meet that front edge of the foot. And then finish off the box, front of the foot, and then the side of the foot. Okay, that came out pretty good. Looks like kind of a big foot, but maybe it's a Bigfoot robot. Who knows? And then the second foot in the image is a little bit smaller, which makes sense. The foot's a little bit further away. Maybe it's a little smaller. And the leg maybe comes down to about here. I'll draw a curved line up to the body. And so let's say that's the center again. I'll draw a line a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. And then we'll draw the contour lines going up the leg. Kind of hard to see my drawing here with the shadow from my hand. Doing the best I can. A couple contour lines. All right. And then we'll draw a slightly smaller foot on this side. Similar to this foot, you can't see the back corner for the leg, so we're just gonna pop a line out here, drop that down. In the image, this foot is a bit obscured by this foot, but I think the way that I drew it, it's not gonna be as obscured, so we might see the whole foot here. And that's fine. And this will go back to meet the other line behind the leg. Get the front of the foot, and then we'll get the side of the foot. All right, I think I got the robot neck there. Get a couple little curved contour lines on that. Oh, almost forgot the smile here. A little robot smile. He's happy. He's handing a rose to somebody. Or it's handing a rose to somebody. And then we have a little antenna popping off the top here. Looks like a little triangle sort of thing, comes to a point on top. And then we got our little circle. Lovely. All right, I don't like, the robot in the image appears to be smiling a little bit more. I want to make this a little bit more of a smile. I mean, it's a robot, but I believe it is intended to be emoting here. Make that a little bit more curved. There you go. That looks more like a smile. All right. I do see a couple of there's like screws holding the body together here. So we're gonna draw a couple little screw holes there. I think that's about it. Got the bow tie, got both arms, got both legs, we got both feet. The last drawing I did, the cube whale, I forgot to pen in the top of its eye, so I'm being extra vigilant now to make sure that I'm drawing everything that I'm seeing, not missing anything. All right, I think we're ready to go in with the pen. Let's do this. I like where all our lines are at. I don't think I'm going to stray from the lines that we put down so far, so I'm essentially just going to trace over this robot with my pen, which should be not too difficult. Little robot ear. In the image, it does look like they gave this ear a little bit of depth. So I'm gonna draw another line coming out just a little bit. Make that appear like it's popping out of the robot's head a little bit. I'm not sure if I see the same thing on the eye or not. I might not do that with the eye. Or maybe I will, we'll see. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna imagine that the eye is recessed in the box. So I'm gonna draw a little line on this side to make it look like there's a hole in the head where the eye is. And I'll do the same thing over here. I think that looks fun, I like that. Get the little robot smile on this side. What a happy little robot. And I'm gonna color this in real quick since we're here. Fantastic. All right. And I wanna make sure I don't draw the neck where it's obscured by the bow tie. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color in the bow tie. Since the bow tie is red, I'm gonna go a little bit harder with my pencil here and color this in. Outline it real quick, a little bit darker, and then give it some color. Fantastic. I think I will outline this as well. See that little circle there? All right, I like this. And then we'll bring this neck down behind the bow tie. Get our little contour lines in there. Wonderful. This is a longer necked robot than it was portrayed here, but it's just a longer necked robot. What are you gonna do? Make sure we don't draw the box, the part of the box that's obscured by the arm here. So we'll draw right up to the arm and on the other side. And then there's this line that goes behind the bow tie, comes out over here. Get the little bolt holes Lovely. Get this arm put in here. Couple contour lines helping to show that the arm is going behind the body. Get this arm, just a couple straight lines there. And then, oh, you know what? This leaf here is actually obscuring in the image. The leaf is obscuring the edge of the hand a little bit. So I think what I want to do here is draw the stem, leave it out here where it's being held by, it's actually inside the hand there, so you can't see the stem, and then it'll pop out at the bottom here. Okay, and then we'll draw the leaf. Okay, then we'll get that hand. It comes all the way around like that. And then the bottom comes out here and meets back up. We have a little line where the clamps meet. Then we have a little circle in here. And then this little line gives the hand some depth. Might even throw a couple of hash marks in there. Help with the depth. All right. Then we have some contour lines here. The contour lines of this arm are a bit more straight than these lines that are curved, just because this arm is straight. And then we got our legs coming out from the body, curling down. We have our contour lines of the legs. I'm actually not following the exact contour lines that I drew with my pencil. No particular reason. Let's do this foot. Nice. I might actually go in afterwards and put some hash marks maybe on the side of the robot. Just give it a little shading. See if maybe that looks cool or not. Hopefully I don't regret doing it. Get this other leg and foot in here. Oh, let's not forget the most important part of the rose, the part that makes it a rose. I don't know how this is gonna come out. We're gonna see. So it's kind of overlapping out here, and then it goes up a little bit, then it comes back down and overlaps down there. And then there's a swirly bit in here. There you go. It looks enough like a rose. I think I'll color this in with the red pencil as well. Make it even more rose-like. I'm glad now that I'm doing this that I'm not smearing the pen in any way like I did in my last drawing. I never colored over the pen with the pencil before, so I wasn't sure how that was gonna work out. I think that's it. I like it. You know what? I think I am going to go in and add some hash marks to a few areas. I'm going to imagine that our light is coming from this side of the page. So any plane of the robot that is opposite this right side, we'll get some hash marks. So that will make this side of the head maybe this side of the neck, this side of the body, maybe this arm, each left side of the legs, and then the left side of the feet. Let's see how that looks. And then this side of the hand too. Let's see, I hope I don't regret doing this. This is gotta be pretty patient when you're doing these. There's no rush. Sometimes when I'm doing hatching like this, I will draw a line each direction that I bring the pen. So it's kind of like a zigzag, but if you tighten the zigzag up a little bit, it looks like it's filling in. And sometimes I just draw single lines each time and get them nice and close to one another. So there's no rhyme or reason for how I would decide to do that. So now that I think about it, if these eyes are recessed in this box, because I drew these lines here, this little area will also be in some shadow. So we'll get some hatching in there. Oop. Nice, I like that. I think I'm gonna do, I've seen, well, you know what, I'm just gonna do this side of the body first as I explain. I've seen artists when they're doing like hatching like this, if they do it on a curved surface, similar to the cylinder arm or the neck or the legs, they'll do hatch marks curved similar to these contour lines. So I was debating if I want to do that, and I think I will. I don't want to do the whole all the way around. I just want them to be on one side of the neck. I like that. I'll do the same thing for the legs down here, and then I'll go back and do that arm. And you know what, maybe I'll do this arm too, since I don't know if that would, I don't know which part of this arm would be obscured by the light, but we'll give it a go. So just putting some light marks on these legs here. I don't love how it looks on the legs, but we're just gonna leave it like that because I'm not a professional, and I'm just trying to make a cute robot hand in a rose, and I think I am getting that across just fine. All right, I like that. Let's do this arm here. I think most of this arm would be in shadow because it's all on this side of the body. So I'm gonna do some light lines, slightly curved. And then as we get here, the bend in the arm, you can see this contour line and this contour line are facing different directions. And that's just because the angle of the arm is changing as it goes behind its back. So my shading lines here will adjust with that. Okay, I like that, I like that. And then I think I'm gonna do like the bottom half of this arm. And these lines are gonna be a little bit straighter because the contour lines are straighter. Yeah, I like that. Maybe I'll darken up this side of the antenna a little bit just to give that a little more shadow. And I think what I'll do, what I've seen people do when they shade boxes, is they'll thicken up the lines that touch the shadow a little bit, I think. So I'll just go over the lines around the shadows. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but that's what I'm gonna do. This video is a little longer than I expected it to be. Good thing I'm almost done. Let's wrap this up. Y'all got places to be, I bet. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. It's funny, before I started making these videos, I was hard pressed to sit down for any length of time to draw, so it's kind of nice to give myself some accountability, dedicate a bit of time to it. I don't think most of my drawing, most of the times that I don't draw a whole image like this. I'll scribble around, and you can see I drew some robots another time. They're so loose, and I didn't give them too much time at all. So to create a whole drawing start to finish like this, I think is pretty cool. Well, there you go. It's a freaking robot handing a rose. I appreciate you hanging out with me, drawing along with me. I hope you had fun. If you drew along, I hope you liked how your robot turned out, and join me for the next one. See ya.